Hello guys, this is MC Yapstar, and today I want to be giving my unfiltered verdict on the ongoing saga between Hilda Baci and an aggrieved customer. I will be arguing in favor of Hilda Baci and showing her the need to institute a legal action against this person and get a court injunction that will prohibit poor people from patronizing her going forward, because I feel she's been targeted. But before I proceed, kindly subscribe to my channel, switch on the notification, and get a pen and paper so that you can jot things down. Thank you for doing that. Now let's get the show on the road. So I think yesterday or the day before, a customer, a lady, actually patronized the restaurant of Chef Hilda Baci. I think the name of the restaurant is Food by Hilda. Okay, so according to this customer, she ordered for turkey pepper soup, and this is the stuff here, a bowl of turkey pepper soup, and she paid 6,000 naira to get this bowl of turkey pepper soup. But to her surprise, when the thing got to her, she was disappointed because she was expecting something bigger, and she was shocked by the quantity and quality of what was eventually sent to her by Hilda Baci, and she now set her camera and complained bitterly about the fact that the pepper soup was too small, that the packaging didn't meet her expectation, and that when she reached out to them, they said it was experimental, and she was like, so you are using me as a form of experiment or what? The long and short of the story is that she was aggrieved, and many people have been siding with her without analyzing these things holistically. They are just viewing it from one angle and not from the angle of the business owner in question, who is Hilda Baci. But now I want to also view it from the angle of Hilda Baci and to let people know that Hilda Baci is justified in this case, and she should not be cowed by the pressure people are mounting on her to compromise on her stance. It is easy to bow to the pressure of the populace, but if you know that you are doing the right thing and people like me make you understand that you are on the right, you will be able to resist it. And if you resist it, it's going to go a long way in helping you as a business owner. So the number one, I will be arguing in support of Hilda Baci under 3 or 4 cardinal points. And the number one being that our restaurant is located at an expensive location. The restaurant is at the heart of Lekki in Lagos. That's an expensive neighborhood. Everybody knows that. If you are conversant with Lagos, you will know that Lekki or anywhere on the island is an expensive neighborhood. And now, for Hilda to have gotten that location, to have pushed it up to the current standard, she has spent millions and probably taking loans to be able to bring her dream to reality. And now, if this happens to be the case, as an investor, she will want to recoup her investment, which is normal. Anybody that invests money would want to recoup, and she is not an exception. You don't expect her to site a restaurant in that expensive area and be selling at the price of somebody whose restaurant is on the mainland. That's one thing people are not getting. So whenever you patronize her, you are not only paying for the food, you are paying for the location, and you are paying for the brand. This guy has worked out to build a brand over the years. You can't fault her for now marking up her product to reflect her current status. It is not a must. She has not forced anybody to patronize her. But if you are going to patronize somebody of that caliber, be ready to pay an amount reflective of that standard of that neighborhood and of that brand. So that's the first thing. Another thing is that we know that we are just hiding from the truth. Lekki or anywhere on the island is not meant for the poor. This is not a jab at the poor people, but it's just reality. Reality at times may be harsh and may sting, but it still remains the truth. Lekki is not meant for the poor. So it is assumed that anybody living in Lekki is meant to be able to be financially buoyant enough to afford whatever they have in offer in Lekki without complaining. So it's an aberration and it's a misnomer for anybody now to now go to any restaurant in Lekki, buy something and now set up the camera to be complaining later that the quantity is small. This is Lekki, for crying out loud. This is Lagos Island. You don't expect the same kind of quality, the same kind of quantity of food that you would get on the island to be the same as the one that you will get on the mainland. This is because mainland, some areas in mainland is not for the rich, it's for the average people and the likes. And then the cost of establishing a business on the mainland is small compared to the cost of establishing a business on the island. Don't let us forget these things. Let us have this at the back of our head always. It would cost you less to rent a shop on the mainland than it would cost you to rent a shop in Lekki, especially when you are talking about the heart of Lekki, Lekki Phase 1, and you are talking about the heart of the island. We have VI, Ikoyi, Banana, and the likes. You don't expect now that if somebody would take their millions to rent a shop in these areas and would not factor all those things into determining how much they want to sell their product. This is what is happening to Hilda Baci. He has spent a lot. He started a shop in the heart of the Lagos Island. You don't expect her to now be selling using the rate of the mainland. No, it is not possible. Let us be realistic and not be sentimental. Everyone that have been piling on this girl, criticizing her, are just doing it from the position of ignorance and from emotions. We are not being sincere and realistic with ourselves. If it were to be you, you would do the same thing. For you to, for the average, the least you can pay to rent a shop in Lekki is maybe 4 to 5 million naira. And that's some years back. I don't know the reality now. What about the cost of electricity? Cost of staffing? The cost of raw materials? We know that inflation has messed everything up. What about these three things? Electricity is now at an all-time high when it comes to costing. Staff now will want to collect more than the minimum wage, which was recently increased. Raw materials, the cost have increased. So now tell me, when you factor all these things together and add it to the cost of rent and logistics, how do you expect this girl to break even without selling at the price that she's selling? Let us ruminate on that. While you are ruminating on that, let me proceed to the next. Another thing is the fact that gluttony is also at play here. I saw that bowl of pepper soup and I was shocked that somebody would finish this one at a go. If you want to eat healthy, I feel this is enough for you, and you can even eat this one twice. Truth be told, we should be embracing healthy diet. Anybody that is complaining about the quantity of this is either a glutton or somebody that is controlled by greed. This is enough to satisfy anybody, and you don't expect this thing to cost lesser than this, considering all the other factors I've highlighted. So gluttony is at play. The food is enough for anybody to get filled up if you are a healthy eater and you pay attention to what goes into your gut and you pay attention to your health. So I think Hilda should even be commended and be given kudos for upholding the ethos of dietary discipline. She should be commended for that, for not promoting and supporting gluttony. Instead of vilifying her, she should be commended. Another thing is that I feel the complaints risks of poverty mentality. Because anybody that is rich won't complain about the quantity of that food. When I saw the video, I saw brokenness speaking through her. It's because maybe she is not currently financially buoyant. If she becomes richer tomorrow, I'm sure that her viewpoint would change. So let us just forgive her. She spoke from a place of maybe financial insecurity. When she becomes richer, she would understand the reason why you can even buy a spoon of rice for 10,000 naira if you are going to choice locations. So that's another factor. And those that are supporting her are also suffering from the same kind of mentality. They need an urgent spiritual attention to help them, to liberate them from the shackles of poverty, so that they can see things from another angle that is filled with surplus and riches. Another thing is reputational damage. That video has gone viral, and unfortunately so many people are not going to be holistic enough in their analysis, and thus it would go a long way in damaging the brand of this girl. That's another thing we are not considering. Many people are going to see that video in isolation. They are not going to have access to analysis, the location of the business, the cost of running the business now in Nigeria, but they will just draw a conclusion that this girl is a greedy business owner, that she's all about her profit, she doesn't care about the client and the likes. So reputational damage, that's in fact one of the reasons why this girl needs to take legal action to protect her brand, her integrity, and the survival of her business. If she doesn't make an example of this person, the trend will continue. More and more broke people are going to continue targeting her brand and continue tearing down what she has spent years to build. Nobody should be allowed to do that to another person's business. Nobody should condone it, and we must all stand together as a collective to say enough is enough of this targeted attack on this lady's brand and business. Because this reeks of intentionality of these people. They want to bring this girl down at all costs after she has spent years building her brand brick by brick. So, based on the foregoing, in my honest opinion, I feel she should consider suing this girl to scapegoat her, to serve as a deterrent to others who may be planning to be reckless with their call-outs. We are not saying you shouldn't express your grievance, you shouldn't register your disapproval, but be mindful of the impact of what you are doing on the brand you are calling out. Because now, if anything goes wrong with this girl's business, so many people are going to be thrown into the labor market that is already saturated, and they will be unemployed. So we should look at the ripple effect and the extensive effect of whatever we want to do. You could have reached out to her privately to hash things out like grown adults, instead of running to the social media to seek for validation. So she should be scapegoated, made to understand that she can't just afford to be reckless when it comes to people's business, and she should be made to pay for damages. And if Hilda is kind enough, she can free her, but I feel if she doesn't get at least a court injunction to stop poor people from patronizing her, they will continue targeting her, because they won't stop patronizing her and they won't stop getting disappointed. And whenever they get disappointed, the next line of action is to run to social media with their videos to start tearing down her business. So it's better for her to get like an injunction barring poor people from patronizing her, and she should put up like a disclaimer on her business page bio that her business is catering for only the rich and financially buoyant people, and not for those that are struggling, so that at least it will save everybody the headache of this incessant call out for no just reason. So I think a disclaimer is right at this point. Put it on your business page bio that okay, you are not targeting everybody, that the motivation behind setting up your business is to cater for the rich people in Lagos and not for the average or middle class people. This would go a long way in forestalling any other anger and call out from all these people that are not holistic in their approach of analyzing things. I hope I've made sense and I've driven up my point with concrete reasons that are valid. Thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for watching till this moment with me. Before you go, kindly subscribe to my channel, switch on the notification so that you can get notified anytime I drop a comment. Like I said, this is my unfiltered verdict. I know it may be unpopular, but I believe I'm entitled to my verdict, and it is not intended to make anybody sad or angry. It is just my verdict based on my viewpoint, the way I view things. I view things differently, and that is just it. I remain yours truly, MC Yapstar. Till we meet again, bye for now.